What's going on, fight fans? Thank you for checking out the Natural Grappler channel. All right, so the UFC, they have made it official. Jorge Masvidal will be standing in Gilbert Burns' place to take on the welterweight champion, Kamaru Usman. This is going to be a big fight. I know it's not the fight that people expected, but this is still going to be an amazing fight. So the big question that I posed earlier was, why would they choose Jorge Masvidal to fight Kamaru Usman over Colby Covington? And it makes sense. It makes sense when you think about it. For Kamaru Usman, why would he want to fight a specialist, a well-rounded fighter actually, in Colby Covington? He brings a lot more to the table. They had a close fight. Go back and rewatch that fight, Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. It was very close until Kamaru Usman took over in the 4th and 5th round. He really did. And this fight, Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal, this is more of a beef battle. They've been going back and forth, tussling for a while now. So it makes sense. Like, these guys are talking about fighting on site versus preparing for an actual, match, so to speak. So yeah, this is a little bit different. The big default in this whole situation, the big fault in this whole situation for me is, I'm wondering if this puts Kamaru Usman at a disadvantage. The reason why I say it might put him at a disadvantage is because he's taking on a short notice opponent. Less than a week away, he's changing his whole mindset, going against Gilbert Burns, who is jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and has hands. Going against Jorge Masvidal, who is mostly a boxer, but he's with American Top Team, and he's working with some of the best martial artists, jiu-jitsu artists, wrestling artists that there are. He's not necessarily a ground specialist. He did pretty well against Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal did. But when you see, and by the way, did you see how Jorge Masvidal knocked out Darren Till? That lets you know that he has the power to cause a problem for Kamaru Usman. And that's what I'm talking about. Yes, we know Kamaru Usman's going to come in and wrestle, but what happens if Jorge Masvidal has a plan for that and he lays hands on Kamaru Usman? It's just going to be an interesting match, man. We're going to break this fight down a little bit more later on this week, but that's what I'm really wondering. Like, you saw what happened to Tony Ferguson. He took a late notice fight against Justin Gaethje. That didn't pan out well for him. Tyron Woodley took a late notice fight. He was scheduled to fight Leon Edwards, and due to the pandemic, his opponent had to change, and he was looking to be a team player for the UFC. He ends up fighting Gilbert Burns, and Gilbert Burns was just hot. He just took it to him. That's two examples of fights where the A side was in control, but technically lost control of the situation when they take on a new short notice B side opponent. And the B side opponents ended up getting the upper hand. Not saying that Justin Gaethje wouldn't have beat Tony Ferguson if they had a full fight camp. Not saying Gilbert Burns wouldn't have beat Tyron Woodley with a full fight camp. What I am saying is, when you're changing the opponents at the last minute, it creates a whole different atmosphere, and you're shifting your mind. But that's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. So let me know what you think about this fight. How do you see it going? If you got Jorge Masvidal, Street Jesus, as they call him, if you think he's going to get the job done, let me know. All right, Natural Grappler, I'm out.